let's shift a little bit to BTS because we had some things come out this week. I think we all should talk about it.
Are we ready to rumble?
Oh, well,
maybe
that's the facts.
So I'm just gonna say it. The Astronaut is out.
Yes, let's talk about The Astronaut. I want to know the thoughts. I want to know the opinions. I want to know everything. What did you guys think of the music?
I had this conversation with Tamira the other day. I was like, I'm so proud of Jin. Mm-hmm. He was considered the worst, whatever that means, vocalist in BTS, and now he is on stage at an arena with Chris Martin with Coldplay by himself. Like doing big things. Like that is I'm so proud of him.
Also, his voice sounds, what he did with his voice is like elevated, and it sounds so different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I just love that he used more of his lower register too.
Yeah, we got to see like
he sounds so good.
Oh my god. Did you guys go and see the concert in the theater, or did you watch the YouTube link?
I watched the YouTube link.
Nice.
This was a lucky one.
Yes, I saw it in the media. So I went. I was gonna go with our friend Moon, who's in our like Maple Army group chat, and because she lives in Calgary as well. And I was gonna go with my mom, but my mom wasn't feeling well, and Moon had to go. She had like an early flight the next day, so she couldn't go with me. So my dad ended up going with me instead. Because I was like, I can go alone. Like, I don't care. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I saw it in theaters. My dad actually had a really good time. He's not, his musical taste isn't like a huge range like mine is. He's very much like rock and metal, and that's basically it. Like, that's his line. But he ended up having like a really good time, and he was really enjoying like the Coldplay music, and I was sobbing basically the whole time. I like Fix You and Yellow, and My Universe.
Like, Jess is like has been a very huge fan of Coldplay for like forever. And then you add Jin to the mix, then
done. Just done. Like My Universe came on, and it really brought me back to PTD LA, because I got to see that live with Chris coming on stage, and it just like brought me back to all those feelings, and I was just like crying. And then Jin came on, and I'm just sobbing. Like, Chris started the introduction and I'm crying, and then Jin came on and I'm just sobbing. Like, it's uncontrollable tears at that point because he looked so happy, and he was just like enjoying his time, and I was just like, this is the last time we're gonna see him on stage for a while. And it just like all of those emotions kind of just like floodgates were open. And my dad, we were like in the car, and he's like explaining how much he loved it, and I'm not really talking because I don't want to start crying again. And he's like, was that your boy? Was that Jin? And I was like, yes, that's my boy. I was like crying into popcorn. Good Lord.
Yeah, I told Jess that I made the mistake of rewatching the Astronaut performance right before we called. And I was like, why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this? The song is just so...
It's so good.
It's just so good. And the fact that, like, he wanted to release a song that said both goodbye, but also I'm gonna be back at the same time is just... I don't know, it's just perfect. And the fact that, like, Chris was doing it, like... I love Coldplay for many reasons. You know, they have this similar messaging to BTS where, you know, it's about love yourself, love others, you know, spread positivity, that kind of stuff. And I think the collaboration together with them was the perfect thing. And the fact that like Chris is just the sweetest guy ever. And obviously, like, him and Jin's relationship is just so cute. I can't. I'll never be over it. Like,
when they hugged, and when he ran to him in his arms, I was like, oh my god.
And the head kiss.
I was done.
Yes.
Like, done. I was like, I'm trying to watch the performance, but like these tears won't stop coming out of my eyeballs. Like, I can't help myself.
The tears help. But what did you guys think of the music video?
So good.
It was so pretty.
Yeah.
Like, pretty is how I describe that. It was so pretty.
Yeah.
And
wasn't it just so different from other like Jin music videos too?
Really was.
yeah,
like, filmmaking wise, it's so interesting because they're using an aspect. I'm gonna get really technical.
This is the fun part of talking music videos, Jess.
So first of all, like, the VFX were unreal. Like, really great job with the VFX. Yeah. Like, even like the credits wise, you can see just like how much crew comparatively to other music videos were on this one, particularly in the post-production, because usually like they don't have a lot of like VFX and stuff like that in their music videos. So to have like almost 20 different crew members is kind of unheard of, especially for a solo venture. Like, that's crazy. And then the second part of that is like the music video itself is filmed in a different aspect ratio than a lot of the other music videos. It's very cinematic, like very wide angle lenses, like almost anamorphic, but not quite that wide angle. It's very fascinating to me because it's a very rare aspect ratio to use that. Like, nobody in music videos really uses that aspect ratio. And to me, it kind of gives us like a much wider field of view to a lot of the shots. So you get way more information. And it just makes it seem like both distant, but also like close up at the same time. It's got like that feeling of, I'm gonna be leaving, but I'm coming back, sort of a vibe with it, which is really smart and clever on the cinematographer to use that in a music video.
Yeah, it was subtle but powerful.
Yeah. Subtle but powerful.
I felt very warm too.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen like a lot of theories online, and I think the combination of all of them, like, obviously for me anyway, I think the girl represents ARMY. She represents us, and the fact that, like, you know, putting on the helmet and like sending us off, teaching us how to ride a bike, you know, letting us go. But I also think like him going through the crowd, to me, is like that's him in the military. And when he sees the astronaut and goes into the like purple galaxy, that's like him remembering all of the times he had with ARMY, and the choice to like have the spaceship take off and him not get on it is like him coming back to us, and he gets to like come back to his home, to the cul-de-sac. That's what I think anyway. Actually crying. Well, and just like all the subtle things, like I saw like in the background, like my universe was in there. Chris as the newscaster is the funniest thing.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny. Like, stop it. I love you.
Squeeze.
That's ridiculous. And having like the ARMY in Braille and like it on his neck, like there's so many like subtle things that I'm just like, this is so sweet. And to put it into like a final package for us, and to like release like a whole album with like photo cards and posters and like all of these things, I think is the perfect, like, I don't know, standby while we wait for him to come back. And like all the members, I feel like Hobie's the same way, like with his album, just to like give us something to like hold on to while we wait for them to do their service and then come back. It's heartbreaking.
I'm
obviously.
sad.
It's yeah.
I wasn't sad, but now I'm sad.
I was thinking about like how like thoughtful Jin is to just do all like hype labels, of course, but also just like Jin is to take notes of those details.
Yeah,
because he didn't have to.
No,
And some artists outside of K, not even just K-pop, but outside of K-pop, they sometimes they don't take that amount of care into their art.
That is very true.
Not at all.
And that was just like incredible. I mean, but we kind of not that we expect that from them, but we've seen them do that similar thing before. Take that much care into their art. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's also heartbreaking because he was talking on his live that he wanted to go in the summer, like he wanted to enlist in the summertime at June when they announced that they were taking a break from their group work. And I had this like feeling that was going to be the case just because they announced that they were taking a break from group work. And I thought, it makes sense for him to go at that time. Like logically it makes sense. But the fact that he stayed for the concert and stayed for like the release of the song makes me just want to cry so hard, because it's like
it just kept being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
The fact that they are so unselfish and that they wanted, like, they've said goodbye to us 3 separate times, like Map of the Soul 7, the B album, and then Proof. Like, that's 3 separate times that we've gotten a goodbye from them, and they still can't do it.
Right. I was thinking like it would be incredibly sad if he did leave in June. Well, logically it makes sense just because like it's June 13th, when they started, when they debuted, and it's like, we don't want you to leave when you just begun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's true.
But also just the pushback was just so frustrating.
Yeah. I honestly, it's so ridiculous that people had such a problem with that, to be honest. I'm like, first of all, it's none of your business. Like, why are you questioning this? Like, it's their decision ultimately, and we have nothing to do with it, and you shouldn't be questioning that at all. I have spent like so much time being like angry at other people, but I think that the way that they were able to handle it is obviously amazing. Like, they handled all of their criticism and all of their bad press or whatever the media wants to paint them as. Obviously, they always handle it so well. And I'm just so proud of them. Like, regardless of what anybody else says, I think that they're doing what they need to do for themselves. And that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm glad they took a break between them leaving.
They need one.
They need one.
I think it's actually selfish of some armies to say that they shouldn't go on break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like,
they need it.
Why they're freaking humans. Let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, and I think
I feel like they sacrifice their lives.
Yeah.
Especially Jacob. Like, I'm really concerned about Jacob. Because when he entered,
I'm also concerned about Namjoon too.
He was 15.
Yeah.
Namjoon seems a little
Namjoon's had like a lot of pressure being the leader and everything too. You're right.
Yeah. Well, and he's the only English speaker too, so it's tricky when you're the voice of a band that's like massive.
Yeah.
But I think this will be good. And honestly, like we said when this announcement came out, like 2025 is not that far away. Like, realistically, it's like the distance between when B was released and when Proof was released.
Yeah,
that's the distance between.
Time goes by so freaking quick.
It's so
honestly
quick.
And like they've told us that like they're preparing / prepared content that's going to be released all throughout that time. And so we're not going into a complete drought.
No.
But also, this is a time for them to do what they have to do, what they want to do. And if you're like, we say this from time to time, if you're a true ARMY, you will respect them and love them and let them do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also just watch In the Soup and be quiet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, we have so many Run BTS episodes that we need to catch up on.
Run BTS, we got Run BTS, we got like 4 seasons of Bon Voyage, we got 2 BTS In the Soup plus the Wooga Squad.
Oh yeah. We have so much content. We're good. I think
plus
we're okay.
MVs.
Plus, we gotta chart all of their discography at some point. So I feel like, you know, we got some work to do.
Would y'all ever do like a tier list for their? Would you ever do like a tier list for their whole entire discography?
Yeah.
God, that's gonna take a while.
Yeah. That's so long. That's crazy.
This showdown took us a while. Can you imagine doing a tier list?
It would take us forever. We got time though. We have so much time.
That is very true.
We got so much time.